So here students will find the project page. Our problem essentially is how can Canadians embrace reconciliation through food? Our big problem is understanding um, how reconciliation can be incorporated in everyday practice. So our solution is through food. Reconciliation is at the forefront of the Canadian consciousness, and many Canadians want to be able to embrace components of this movement in their everyday life and support businesses which are making the effort to incorporate Indigenous knowledge and ways of being into their practice. From here, we can see the day-by-day activities. So those are laid out here. Day one is a fairly important day where students will do a food quiz that will showcase a variety of foods, and we will look at that in the links. They'll share their findings with the class, and then they'll answer some critical questions that go along with it. Our day two project is students kind of finishing the question sheet and coming together to discuss their findings. Here we have day three.
This is a cross-disciplinary project. The summative project of creating a reconciliation signature dish will use mostly cross-disciplinary techniques. The Social Studies program of study will help students to better understand the unique history and forces that have created what we have come to understand as Canadian heritage food.
Where they will have a chance to view a video by David Chang on tacos on his show called Ugly Delicious. So there are some entry questions here to kind of get the students thinking. The video, and then there's also a worksheet that goes along with the video that will help the students get into the meat of what's being discussed.
This David Chang episode provides a critical look at how food we see as everyday might have significant and historical components that make it what it is today. This episode will help the students with thinking about the history and people behind the food.
Day four, students will begin the summative project. So they'll find a partner, and they'll find the food project in the link as well, which we will go over. Day five, they will continue on with the project in phase one. Day six, they will create their project in a foods class, so they'll have a whole class to do that. And then day 7 and 8, they will be creating their digital document.
Here we have the links page with all the worksheets and the final project. The food quiz is the start of the cross-disciplinary project and is a way to hook the students. We have food items that are components of the Columbian Exchange, which will also include food items that are indigenous to Turtle Island. There are also dishes that we see regularly in Canada and Alberta that were brought over by various phases of settler immigration. Finally, we have items that are newly created Canadian food, like Nanaimo bars. The questions on the worksheets are ways to scaffold learning for the students. It will allow them to practice exploring the origins of food and the stories of the people behind them. The summative project for creating a reconciliation signature dish is executed in 3 phases. Number 1, recipe creation and feedback from peers. Phase 2, a day of preparing and sharing the food in a foods class. And finally, the creation of a digital document with images, history, and critical analysis. Why use interdisciplinary integration? Recognize bias, think critically, tolerate ambiguity, acknowledge and appreciate ethical concerns. Learning goals and curriculum connections. Under the For Teachers component, you will find the curriculum components and learning goals. The goals for this project is for students to appreciate the various heritages that make up the food they eat in Canada and how they can use this to shape reconciliation by telling their stories. Our curriculum components use the Grade 10 Social Studies component of studies to build a stronger version of the foods program that focuses on Canadian heritage foods.